A friend of mine asked me the other day after the presidential elections and the results were published and Donald Trump was the president. And my friend asked me, so Gustav, what do you think the next 4 years is going to look like? And I jokingly told him, I said, it's going to look about the same like the last 4 years. He said, but why do you say that? I said, well, it's going to look the same if you don't change. It is not about who is president in the White House. It's about whether you have been able to empower yourself with the mindset and the skills that will permit you to be able to take advantage. Life is seasonal. If today there is sunshine, know there is a day rainfall is going to come. And if it rain and thunders come for you, know there is a day the sun is going to rise again. I feel blessed today. It's an awesome day to be alive. And I hope whatever part of the world you are, you also feel blessed today. And you're feeling like it's an awesome day to be alive. If it's not an awesome day to be alive, tell yourself that. Tell yourself, I want it to be an awesome day to be alive. Have you ever wondered why some people get ahead in life? Why some people are able to walk through the difficulties and still find a way to rebuild and become more valuable? Have you ever asked yourself why that friend, that neighbor of yours, that you thought maybe things were over for them, and a few years down the line, they are able to rebound and rise again like a phoenix? You know, today I want to talk to you about the audacity to fail. Let me tell you, I am 47 years old. I've lived in this part of the world for about 20 years. I've worked extensively between here and Africa. I've started over 6 businesses, 2 of them successful, 4 of them failed woefully. I've been bankrupt, paid over $150,000 to the bankruptcy court. I've foreclosed on 2 homes. I've restarted my life over more than once. So I know how it is to be successful, and I know how it is to fail and be down in the gutter. Let me tell you some of the lessons that I learned from that, and how you can also apply it to your life if at this time in place you are struggling with that challenge. You know what is first of all certain is that life is seasonal. Life is a cycle. If today there is sunshine, know there is a day rainfall is going to come. And if it rain and thunders come for you, know there is a day the sun is going to rise again. In fact, a friend of mine asked me the other day after the presidential elections and the results were published and Donald Trump was the president. And my friend asked me, so Gustav, what do you think the next 4 years is going to look like? And I jokingly told him, I said, it's going to look about the same like the last 4 years. And he was surprised and I started laughing and, you know, he said, but why do you say that? I said, well, it's going to look the same like the last 4 years if you don't change. It's going to look the same like the last 4 years if you don't change. It is not about who is president in the White House. It is not about who is the Secretary of Health. It's about whether you have been able to empower yourself with the mindset and the skills that will permit you to be able to take advantage. When President Trump was announced as president, there was a lot of movement on the stock market. A lot of companies rose. Tesla, for example, rose by about $40 a share. But you know what? The numbers are telling us that only about 50% of black people participate in the stock market. The stock market is the number one way to build wealth in America. So if 50% of black people are not participating in the stock market, of course, nothing will change over the next 4 years. So it is going to be about the same. Was I wrong? So what I'm trying to get at is that there is a time in your life when you have to stand up inside yourself and say enough is enough. I want better and I have to go seek better. And usually when you get on that journey, be ready to understand that you have to go through the different processes of rising. You are going to stumble, you are going to fail, you are going to get hurt, you are going to feel pain, but if you persist long enough, you're going to hit your goal and you're going to get to your destination. You know, anytime I see adverts on TV or on social media, on YouTube, become a millionaire in 90 days, learn these skills to become a millionaire in 6 months, I laugh. And I know a lot of people fall into those traps because they think achieving anything of significance in life requires minimal effort and minimal investment. Let me tell you something. You must have the audacity to fail. Because if you don't have the audacity to fail, you will never be able to have the capacity to achieve. That is the nature of the game. Whatever it is you are working on right now, you must understand that in the process of being excited and dreaming about all these great achievements and where you plan to go, also train your mental, your spiritual, your physical, and your emotional muscle for detours and failure to come. Some of it can be within your control. Some will not be within your control. I have a friend of mine actually who has been working on this idea for the last 2 years. And he's been gathering momentum and he's starting to rise. And boom, his family is almost tearing apart. Because sometimes when you're getting into entrepreneurship, it becomes hard. Because you have to focus, you might be taken away, you might be gone, not physically, but mentally, because you're thinking, writing ideas, trying to do things for a while. Sometimes you might not be able to work the full-time jobs you used to work, so you don't have money, and that might cause strain. But you are the one seeing that vision. You are the one who is getting the message in your spirit. You are the one who have already envisioned what that promised land is. And a lot of times, the most difficult thing is to get the people who are close to you to see it. You shouldn't even make an effort to get them to see it because it's of no use. The dream wasn't given to them for a reason. And they would not see it, not because they don't love you, but because their natural setting, their natural human instinct is to be defensive. Don't try things, it might not work. And that is not wrong, nothing wrong with them. It's just the natural way human beings think. Human beings think about pain before joy. Human beings think about failure before success. Human beings always think about the glass half empty before half full. So understand that one of the things you must build is the audacity to fail. Hey guys, have you been wondering how you could chat with me one-on-one just to talk on your aspirations, your career, your business, and the things you might dream about with your life and you would really like to do with your life? I know it's been a challenge because a lot of people have been sending me inbox messages, asking me questions and asking me how they could get to me. That has been answered for you. I've created a one-on-one program where you can actually book a time. You look in the link in the description. You can book a time and have a one-on-one conversation with me for 30 minutes for a very small fee. If you look down in the description of this video, you will find that information and go ahead and book a time and let's have a conversation. When I think of all the great mentors I follow, all the great people I've learned and studied about, which I do a lot, failure has always been of that combination to their destination. Failure has always been a part of that whole cake that builds up to a magical output for people to see. And I'm not saying that you should perpetually stay in failure, but I'm saying that you should look at it as a way of learning and as a way of life and grace and the world giving you feedback about what you should put to the market. One of the most enjoyable times in my journey to building the businesses I've always built and I'm building right now, amongst the one I already have, is when I get genuine feedback from customers, from clients, from people. I like when you come to me hard, when you talk to me genuinely how you feel. Gustav, I hate that product. It's of no use. It's not marketable. You are not doing it. Whatever it is, tell me. I like it because I want to keep improving. The day you stop improving, you begin to die. And the reason why I come to you all the time to share these messages, not only of my experiences, but I hope that it hits you at the point in your heart where you have to understand that if you don't do nothing about your now, the next 4 years is going to be about the same for you. I have already talked in previous videos about the economic and financial opportunity that abounds with President Trump coming to power. I truly don't know him personally. I could care less about some of his characteristics and his ideologies, but some of them I believe it makes sense. All I know is that for a guy like that who is pro-America, for a guy who stands for America to be great again, for a guy who stands for businesses to bring back employment into America, to bring back manufacturing into America, you should be asking yourself, if you are listening to me as an immigrant in America, what can I learn from that and how can I take advantage? Is it maybe time to build a business along with my full-time job? In fact, I recommend to all my clients who come to me for coaching that the first thing you have to do, you have to have a business, even if you're working full-time on W-2. Because you use a business to learn. A business is actually your outlet. A business is actually a retirement plan or part of it. And a business, you can use it for tax purposes. Do you understand why in America a W-2 worker pays more taxes than a businessman? Because America is designed for business. America is designed for people to use their entrepreneurial skill. Why don't you explore that while you are also working full time? In fact, you do when you're 9 to 5, you give it to your employer. And you're 5 to 9 or 5 to midnight, you give it to yourself. That's how you grow. That's how you build something significant. And that's how, if you plan on getting out of the rat race in America, that's how it's going to work. I'm not saying it from the perspective of some guy who've already achieved all his goals, but I've achieved some significant ones. And I went through sweat, I went through pain, I went through sacrifices, and I'm still achieving more. And I'm going to continue achieving more. Because you know why? The biggest question I ask myself is, how do I want to be remembered when I'm no longer on this side of eternity, Gustav? What is my legacy going to be? And that's the question I want to leave you with today. You know, if you're wondering about how to understand and unveil your purpose, if you're wondering how to use and leverage your gift, your calling, your purpose, to be able to build yourself personally and to make profits and to build a legacy, feel free. I have a link down in the description comment. Click on that link and book a one-on-one appointment with me. I'll be able to share with you all the different information and the different programs that we have that can help you. Let me tell you something. Why do you think the great players like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, all of them had and always have coaches? Would Michael Jordan have ever been able to become the world's best basketball player and win multiple rings in Chicago, 6 of them, without Phil Jackson? Think about it. We are the only people who we think, we know it all. We don't need a coach. That was the mistake I made earlier in my career too, in the businesses I did. The most important thing you will need if you want to grow in this life is a mentor and a coach. Somebody who has done it, somebody who can guide you, somebody who can tell you where the pitfalls are so that you can make your own new mistakes and don't replicate old mistakes. So click down on the link if you want to book a one-on-one appointment. I hope to see you on the one-on-one call. There's a small fee for that. Also, if you want to be part of our newsletter community where we share member-only information, these are unique, scripted, very carefully refined information that we share only with members of our newsletter community. Over 2,000 people are already benefiting from that. If you want to be a member, which I encourage you to be, click down in the newsletter link below. You just share your name, your email, and you'll be subscribed to the newsletter. And every Tuesday of the week at exactly 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, you will receive a newsletter. And I promise you, read it through and you will learn things. And if you continue to follow, you continue to read, to put into practice the things I'm telling you, you will be amazed what will happen to you in the next 4 years. And when I answer that question to you the way I answered to my friend, you will understand that things have changed because you have changed. And until next time, I hope you're well, you're blessed, and never stop being a blessing to somebody. And we are preparing a masterclass coming up in the next few weeks. Stay tuned. We'll be talking about that. In that masterclass, I'll be teaching you how to leverage your gift and your purpose. I'll be helping you to be able to learn and understand how to invest in your purpose for personal growth, for profit, and how to build a legacy with that. Because the 3 main things humanity is always worried about, that everybody deeply has as a sacred desire in their heart. Number 1 is to become relevant and grow as a person. Number 2 is to be able to generate money, generate wealth, and build profits. And number 3, at the end of the day, for their name to never disappear from the history of time. People want to be remembered. People want to leave behind a legacy. I know that is a worry you have. Please stay tuned and you'll get help with that. Book that one-on-one appointment. Let's start from there. Until the next time, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.